What would you buy first? Welcome to the Rachel and Drew Show. I'm Drew.
I'm Rachel.
What's up? So today we're going to do it a little different. I'm going to ask Rachel a series of questions that she has no idea I'm going to ask her. And inside,
can't wait.
Her heart is palpitating because she's probably nervous.
I don't get nervous. I'm more just like, what on earth are you about to ask me?
What is making you feel alive lately?
I don't know. The weather. It's cold as shit outside. It's cold. It makes you like you're shivering and stuff. So yeah.
The weather makes you feel alive.
Lately.
That's your final answer.
You said lately. I would also say I guess I'm thinking about it from more of a physical standpoint.
No, alive. Like what makes you feel alive lately? The weather.
I'm tired. Alani makes me feel alive lately because I'm
shout out to Alani.
Pregnant and I'm not gonna say I'm tired. I'm just more sleepy. But after Alani, I'm like, ooh, I'm back. I'm fine. Because I was like moving slow this morning and then I'm back to it right now. So I'm good.
What is the worst job you've ever had?
Oh man. Okay. I don't know. I have any job that I've had, I've always tried to like do a really good job at it, even if it was like a shit job. So I'm just going to think back to like, I would say I used to work the snack bar at a skating rink. And it was called Champions Roller World. And if you grew up in the Spring, Texas area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was a snack bar. And first of all, I didn't want to work the snack bar. My goal is I want to work my way to being a ref because I love to skate and I was really good at fast skating and you got to like go really fast and like that's what I wanted to do. Well, I ended up getting stuck at the snack bar because they're like, no, girls aren't refs. Like that's just not what we do here. Only guys can be refs. So I did that. And I had Invisalign at the time and I had a snow cone, like a coconut snow cone. And I had taken my Invisalign out and I had put it in a clear cup and then somebody threw it away. And I was driving home later that day and I'm like driving home. I was like in my little crappy Eclipse that I had and I like slammed on my brakes. I was like, oh, my teeth. And I like made a U. I went back. I'm like searching. And they had just taken the trash out, guys. Ugh. My mom would be so pissed because I had already lost my retainer once. And I think I was like 15 or 16 at the time. I was like barely like legal to get a job. But I had little side hustles and things by the ice cream truck when I was younger. But I went back and we finally found in the dumpster my Invisalign retainer. It was covered in nacho cheese. It was nasty. And I went home and I bleached the hell out of that thing. And that night I had to put it back in my mouth and I was just like, ugh.
Oh my gosh.
But that was my worst job, I'd say.
Wow.
And I got paid, I don't even know, maybe $7. I don't know. But whatever it was.
In popcorn?
But it was more just like the reason that was I would say my worst job is I would say that was my lowest paying job. But I've always been in like a customer service type of role, like no matter what, like whatever job I took, it was always like person, like with people. I never had like I would say like a desk job or like sat and did on my butt. I don't know. So.
Okay. If money were no object, what would you buy first?
What do you mean? Like if I had limited funds?
If you had unlimited funds, what would be the first thing that you would buy?
I would retire my mom and I would we just kind of took our whole family on a vacation. Like that was a big goal of mine for a long time. But I would retire my mom for sure. Like make sure my mom had like everything. She didn't have to work. The thing though is my mom loves to work and I wouldn't want to take that from her. But at least I could take away the financial burden that maybe she feels on a monthly or, quarterly basis. So that's what I would do.
Love it. What can we do to make a real difference in the world?
I think we just need to keep doing what we're doing. I mean, we're doing like philanthropy work. We're helping business owners. We're helping we really are like trying to help every single salon. And, 6 or 7 years ago when I started educating on the road, doing hair extension trainings, like I really fell in love with helping the hairstylist. But the thing is like, it took me years to come in contact with just even a couple thousand hairstylists. And only being able to spend, 8 hours or so with them all in a group setting, like not even 1-to-1. So we really realized that like, okay, if we can help the salon owner, she can help the hairstylist, So we believe we can have more impact by doing what we're doing. And then also just being able to help other people's families. And then on the philanthropy side, like being able to help, like we just went on our very first mission trip to Guadalajara. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And also just being able to realize that like the skills that like what we're teaching and doing here, although like over in another country, the language is different. Like they're still super interested in what we're teaching and it can be applied in some way.
In Mexico and China. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
I know you were teaching sales when we were in, and we didn't show this in the documentary, but we have some like footage of it that Sydney grabbed. We have footage of Drew teaching like an accidental, like 1 hour sales training. And it was funny because like we're very visual. So like, he's like mapping out like how our company works, like how, like we're not just one brand, we're like 150 brands. Right. And so like explaining that to them, and I'm like, we're not just like slinging hair to my 2 salons. Like, like there's a lot of salons that are exclusively using this product. And anyway, so that, and then like somebody like walks by and then they peep in the door and then they're like, oh, can I come in? And then like in Chinese, but like, can I come in? And then like, before you know it, like people are bringing chairs in and we have this footage of Drew teaching this whole like sales marketing segment, which was so cool.
Yeah.
And then obviously in Guadalajara, we're teaching hands-on. Those questions weren't so bad. Or are you going to keep going?
Oh, I got more.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
Do you salt your food before you taste it or after you taste it?
Before. Because if there's no salt on it, I know I'm going to need to add salt. I don't really like salt my food. The only thing that I add salt to are my eggs because that's just like a must for me. Yeah. Like this morning. That's why I asked you. Did you salt the eggs? You're like, no.
I don't salt eggs.
I cannot sit there and eat.
Who eats salty eggs?
Bland. No, they're not salty. They're just salted.
Salted eggs.
They're just salted.
It's a weird thing.
It's like a, I don't know. I just like, that's just like my breakfast. Like I had my smoothie and then I had
salty eggs.
Assaulted eggs.
You assault the eggs?
I don't assault the eggs. No.
What's the worst advice you've ever gotten?
I don't really know like the exact sentence, but something to the effect of like, keep doing what you're doing. Like what? Like, what do you mean? Like, you want me to just like do the same thing like
be
forever and just be boring,
Be better.
Well, just keep doing what you're doing, like from a CPA. Okay, I'm not gonna say who, but like, oh yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. It's, it's working for you. Like what? Like what do you mean? I don't know. I think like growing up, there was always this like a lot of people around me, more so family who love me. Okay, so it's not like they're like trying to keep me small. But, family members like, why is nothing ever good enough for you? I used to hear that, you're never content with anything. Why, why is it always more and more and more? And I'm like, that's not what I'm about. Like, I have a desire to create. I have a desire to do something big. Like, it has nothing to do with like having cool stuff, like whatever. It was more just like, I am this way. And it's kind of frustrating. And if you're listening to this, you probably can relate to some extent, if not fully. It's like you don't be upset with those people. Like they just don't see what you see. And for me, it was like I had to learn to just like, look, they're never going to understand me, which is kind of sad because it's like my own mom or my grandpa, or I think my grandpa, like he's a big dreamer. I think he understands me maybe the most of anyone like growing up. I think he like he didn't say those types of things to me necessarily. He just wanted to make sure I made good decisions. But I would say everybody else, it was more like, Like, and it's because they care about me and they love me and they want me to feel peace and contentment. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not gonna like live like all of you guys. Like, it's not that anything you're doing is wrong. It's just not what I want, you know? So I would say that probably it's kind of a double response, but just to keep doing what you're doing, or like, you know, I don't know, just people keeping you small.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not into it.
Next question.
Where's your phone? How do you know these questions?
What do you find most sexy about me? I'll give you a minute.
Where's that? I don't know. You can make me laugh, which is extremely important to me. You can make me laugh. And I mean, last night was great.
Little TMI. Sorry, Brooks. In the world.
But mostly like you can make me laugh. That's important to me, you know, and that's, you know, you could be, I don't know, like you are hot, but like you know, if you were, it's just suck to be with somebody who's like good looking and then they're just like, they're just boring and they have no personality and they can't make you laugh and they're, you know, so I think we laugh a lot.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd say like my hamstrings or something.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry.
I'm so sorry. Your hamstrings really get me going because, you know, I can carry you to safety if need be.
Yeah. Okay. You're tall, dark, and handsome.
Thank you.
Not too tall.
Not too tall, but not short. I'm 5'.
I remember when we first met, because we met on Bumble. Fun fact, if you guys didn't know, we met on Bumble, and his profile said he was 6 foot. And when he opened the door, I'm like, this dude ain't 6 foot. This is not 6 foot. He's 5'11", but he's not 6 foot. But he put on his profile that he was 6 foot.
Well, if I put on boots, okay, which most guys do wear, like I don't wear cowboy boots. Cowboy boots put 2.5 inches on you. You know?
Yeah, I think you're talking more like Chelsea boots or
like
whatever.
like low profile shoe. Like I don't always wear flat shoes.
Yeah.
A lot of guys wear boots. Not me. Not a liar. You know, just lies.
Just part-time liar on Bumble.
Next question. What do you find most sexy about me?
Stop. You next.
Shit, I'm funny. What's something everyone likes that you don't?
Cheese.
How dare you?
I freaking hate cheese. It's just not good for you.
Gasped.
It's not good for you. It's really not, because, and this is why. Not only the fact that I'm lactose, I don't like cheese, but there's another reason. If you guys have, next time you go to a Mexican restaurant, I want you to order the queso and I want you to just let it sit on the table. In 10 minutes, I want you to look at it and tell me if that looks like a good idea. It does not look like a good idea. It is like, that is what's happening in your body. I think it's gross. I don't like cheese.
I get that.
And Evan definitely can't have cheese.
Yeah.
He is like, I'm like, dude, like it's criminal what you do after you eat cheese. Yeah. So everybody likes cheese. I don't like cheese. It's probably not what you thought I was going to say.
I mean, that's up there. Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't believe in ghosts. I believe in other beings being alive, or not alive, but like being around, not in a weird way. But I have seen an angel in my life. That was so cool. That was not a ghost. You know, I don't think there's like people, like silhouettes of people like whoo, you know, around. I don't think that.
Maybe on another pod you can tell that full story.
Yeah, it's a more serious story.
Yeah, like Rachel's not more. I'm more of a showman. Rachel is a kind of a, you know, even keel kind of communicator. Nothing's better or wrong about either one of this. So when she says that, I don't want to like glaze over it, because the first time she told me that, I was like, huh? And I just kind of mentioned it, but Really cool story. You
No,
usually,
I did see an
she usually
angel.
weeps when she tells it. You know, every time, like when she really tells it.
You sound like a little bitch. Like,
No, man, like when you.
weeping.
No, I mean that. I mean that in a the realist best
no,
way.
it's a really cool story. I will say, if I've ever shared my angel story with you, you know it's legit, and you also know that you probably got goosebumps too, which is cool because. But I don't believe in ghosts. No way. But I do believe that the closer you are to God, and also like the less distracted you are, and the less I don't know, when you're just like at rock bottom and like there's just nowhere else to go but up, and you're just like just open to the idea of God working in your life, you can experience some really cool things. So I have seen an angel. I actually told your parents about it, Brooks. I told your parents about it when we went to dinner, and that's a real story, and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I have not seen anything that cool in my life, so it was really, really neat. But I think ghosts are probably bullshit.
Do you have a favorite smell?
Favorite smell?
Yeah.
What do I like?
I like when we wake up in the morning and I can smell wood burning, like in a burn pile.
I like my
my favorite smell.
perfume. I like Santal 33. I wear that, or I wear Baccarat. Those are my two things. Today I'm not though. Today I'm wearing like this.
Isn't that a game?
Thing
Baccarat? Baccarat? Isn't that like a...
I think you're thinking like badminton or something. I have no idea.
Baccarat.
But I'm wearing like Louis Vuitton fragrance right now. I did not buy it. I won it in a raffle because I like to win things. But
You won some chickens too one time.
I did.
They
It
died.
was at the poultry fair.
You were there.
I did. I came home with a bunch of roosters in a box. I came home with a bunch of roosters in a box, and he's like, I was trying to call you and you weren't answering. And I'm like, well, he's going to be more surprised than I thought, because I rolled up with a bunch of roosters in a box. And they were full size too. Like, these were not little tiny ones. Like, we had a couple boxes.
Full grown.
And I'm pretty sure that I had to make the kids all ride in the back, like the back of the car, because I didn't have enough room to take the kids and the chickens home. And I told him, I was like, babe, I won something. Because I never win things, guys. Like, I really don't. And that day, I was a winner, and I have a picture. Well, maybe we can add it here. I have a picture of me winning at the Tractor Supply. Was it Tractor Supply?
No, it was a feed store.
American Feed Store.
Yeah, in Conroe.
Yeah, I think I was just trying to get dog food or something, and they're like, I walk in, they're like, hey, ma'am, you welcome to.
I'd have said no.
He's
She's
like,
more
we're
spontaneous.
from the American, like how they have American Kennel Club, but it's like American Poultry Club. Like, do you want to enter into our raffle? And I was like, sure. You know, it was like nobody's there. Like, I mean, there's a few people there, but he's like, stick around. We'll be calling the winner.
Like,
you know, and I'm like, okay. And so I'm like shopping, getting my thing, and then
having some beef jerky.
They called my number, and I was like, I won! Oh my gosh, I won! You know,
Rachel Thomas, come on down.
And Kenzie's like, "Oh my gosh, Dad's gonna freak out," you know. And I'm like, "I won!" You know,
You can't just put
excited.
chickens. Like, you can't just introduce chickens with other chickens. You know.
Well, and there was a rooster.
There was a rooster.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing that was the most stressful part of it is the guy's like, you got to take really good care of these hens and this rooster. They're award-winning hens, and I'm like, you probably gave it to the wrong person. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I got a chicken coop, but we got some chickens, but like I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I don't even take care of them out there.
Right.
Drew does. So, but yeah, that I don't remember the question, but that I won that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty neat.
What's that?
Didn't they die?
Yeah, Lewis
died.
killed them all.
Our dog, the freaking dog figure. Oh, well, sorry, we had a Great Dane. We had a Great Dane, and she flipped the lock, and then there goes Lewis.
No, Lewis
He mauled that chicken.
Lewis bulldozed the door.
Okay. I don't remember that part.
And then,
but Lewis is
bad.
a French bulldog, by the way. So if you guys are like, who's Lewis? It's not this terrifying animal. It's a freaking French bulldog who just like a bat out of hell just zoomed out of the fenced-in area we have back here and just attacked those poor chickens.
Yeah, we miss Lewis.
We do. What was the next question?
Who was your celebrity crush?
Growing
Your
up,
first celebrity crush?
gosh, honestly, I was a big NSYNC fan. I really was. I was a big NSYNC fan. But I was also an Aaron Carter fan as well. And I actually just found out a few days ago that Aaron Carter died. Like this was like years ago, and I'm like, and because some weird like video of him came out. It was on my For You page. Is you guys don't want to see it? There's a lot.
Aaron Carter passed away?
Yeah, a couple years ago. He drowned, allegedly.
Oh shit!
But there's a video was on my For You page. I bet I could go find it. Where he's talking about how like this record label owed him all this money, and he's like, and I guess he like didn't have any money, and he was wanting to like, raise some money so he could move to like a remote area and like get out of the U.S. And then shortly after, he ended up dying.
Oh wow!
Being found drowned or whatever. It's sad, but that was why or I would say one of the NSYNC guys.
Which one? You know my NSYNC story, right?
No.
Do you remember?
No.
We
probably Justin Timberlake. All right. I also growing up, who else? I don't remember most of my childhood. I'm sorry. I've been through a lot, but I would say probably one of them too.
That's legit. I actually partied with NSYNC in Florida. You remember?
Oh, is that the midget story? You was a midget there or something?
It's not.
I'm sorry. That's not probably a nice way of saying it. But no, you were saying that one of the NSYNC guys was such an asshole to the midget that was at the party.
Again, you can't say that. I don't think. Okay, that's not the right term.
Whatever, person.
I think so. Dwarf? Or is that worse?
I think it's worse.
I think I'm just digging a hole.
Okay, move on.
So we were out in Florida, and Chris, the dude from NSYNC with the dreads.
I didn't like him. He was not my crush.
He's not the favorite, but he was in NSYNC, and he was there at our show when we were touring. We were playing music.
Yeah.
And he was front row, listening to our band, and loved it, and was there the whole time, and hung out with him, and invited us back to his mansion in Florida. We went to his mansion in Florida, drinking, hanging out, and it was wild. It was a wild night. We were not crazy, we would drink and stuff like that, but we wouldn't get into any big trouble, anything like that, because we were actually really strict. We were recording an album. It was actually quite strict when we were out in South Carolina, because the bass player from Shinedown was our producer, so we were very plugged in and in the studio. But we would go out drinking, So, but it started to get super weird. We ended up leaving. But yeah, there was a lot going on out there. But we hung out with him, partied with him one night, and that was that. Yeah.
That was I'd say at my grandparents' house, I had like my own room, and there was like this part of the attic that they basically like finished off and made it like a closet. So we called it like the Barbie closet. So I used to have like all my doll houses and all my Barbies, and I would cut everyone's hair and do color and all that stuff. And then it was like an angled wall because it was like an attic. And so anyways, I had posters, back when posters were like the thing. Mm-hmm. So I had posters of like NSYNC or like Aaron Carter, Spice Girls or whatever. Like that was like what I had. But
right on.
Yeah.
Those are my questions.
Well, thanks. I think you guys got a little bit of everything. You heard about angels, chickens, midgets,
yep.
all kinds of things. So weird.
Yeah.
Cheese. My hate for cheese. I also don't like cats, but if you listen to the last episode, you know that. So
talk about cats. Offended a few people in these last episodes, maybe. Oh,
God, I'm sorry.
What you doing there?
It was a weird angle.
These sound good, don't they? Crispy.
They do, yeah.
Crisp.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the next episode will probably, not the next one, maybe a few more. We'll ask some questions to you.
Yeah, you can ask me questions.
I'm going to have to prepare them because I didn't know you were doing this today. So I'm going to have to prep.
Oh, I just threw that together in like 20 seconds.
You put those together?
Yeah.
That's so random.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe it goes. What?
Creative bunch over here.
I guess.
What do you think about these drones?
I think that.
What do we think? If you search Dior bags on TikTok.
I know you told me. Well, TikTok's gonna go bye tomorrow, and by the time this airs, it'll be gone.
I don't think it's going to.
And not tomorrow, the next day.
I don't think so.
I honestly,
Something's gonna happen today.
I don't really get too wrapped up in that stuff.
I do.
I know you do, and then you send them to me, and then
I don't wanna
that's
talk
because
about
that's
it.
why I also don't have to go look at it because I know Drew's just gonna send me a bunch of stuff.
But good stuff. No nonsense.
Oh my gosh, it's random though. You'll
No,
send
it's
me
not random.
something health related, something
I've curated all this information. For you.
literally. But by the time I get to it, it's like the most random assortment of news. It's like something like health related. Then there's some
Like health breakthroughs. They flipped cancer in Korea. Y'all. They've taken the freaking cancer cell, Brooks, and they've put it in water, and they've hit it with a frequency. So now they have the shape of a cell, and they have a shape of a healthy cell and a cancer cell. What happens to a sound wave when you play the polarity of it? Fucking cancels out. It does. It goes to zero. Yes, they've fucking done that with dude, South Koreans. So, but the regular cell that looks in water, it's beautiful, and then the sick cell is all messed up. But they play the polarities, and that's essentially, in layman's terms, what they've done. And they're literally like flipping them. It's nuts. So I send her great stuff like that.
I'll watch it. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
But yeah, Dior. But if you search Dior bags on TikTok, that's a deep dive. That it gets weird in there.
I'm sure. Yeah, I did look that up because you told me to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know what to think of it necessarily. I just think like, okay, it's how could like with the intelligence and everything that we have here in the U.S., it's like if that was an actual threat, it would have been taken down by now. And the fact that it hasn't been, it's either some sort of just I think it's a distraction, honestly. Especially given the timeline. I mean, inauguration's on Monday or Tuesday. Monday. Yeah, so I have no idea. But you know, what I do know is whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and you know, I know that. Government knows. Yeah, sure.
They know.
But it's not like
How can they not know?
Me saying something isn't gonna change anything. So,
But
like,
there's
in that type of thing. So
even
it's just kind of
recently
pointless, like stressing about it.
Recently, they've shown what technology is available to the public on drones. It is crazy what is just available to you and I like now by downloading an app and plugging it into the drone we have.
We have a client that just got those Meta glasses. Abigail just got those glasses, and she was saying that like I mean, I think they're cool, but at the same time, she's like, you know, she had a conversation with her team about like, hey, be aware of like if other people have these glasses. Now you will see like a little flash if someone's taking a picture, but you know, think about the ability for someone to record you.
Oh yeah.
Like we're all kind of, I mean, if you're in a public place, there's cameras probably, and you're probably being recorded anyway, but you know, it just makes me think about being a parent and like that kind of stuff. And like, I don't want anybody recording my child and, you know, that kind of stuff, weird stuff. Especially like amusement parks, theme parks, stuff like that. You know, like growing up, there's a water park that used to be called Splashtown here. Now I think it's Schlitterbahn or I don't know what on 45. And my stepdad actually ended up tackling this guy who was literally videotaping me and my mom and my sister. I mean, Darby was little at the time. I think Darby was born at that time. And ended up tackling them, this guy, and getting him arrested. And the footage he had on his camera was like a bunch of like kids and stuff, you know, on his camera, and just people's butts. And I mean, obviously everyone has a swimsuit on, but still, it's like, what the fuck are you doing with that? Like, you know, just there's weird people out there. So I definitely think you have to be really careful. You have to be careful, not just like when you're out and about, but you have to also be careful about the information that you're consuming. And it's like so hard to know like what's real and what's not with AI now. Like, I mean, there's been full blown, you know, YouTube shorts and stuff of Joe Rogan. It's not even Joe Rogan. It's like, you know, it's just there's so many things. So
this is actually not us.
That's not true.
This is AI.
No, this is so freaking random
know?
today. It's definitely us.
We
Like,
don't know.
So random, but
It's the AI shorting out, doing weird shit.
Yeah. So
weird shit. You
know, you
weird
just have
shit.
to stop it.
Sorry.
You have to just know like have the discernment of like what's real, what's not, and then, you know, obviously not stress yourself out about stuff that you really have no control over. I know exactly where I'm going to end up whenever my life is at an end or whatever, whenever the hell that is. But I don't have it doesn't scare me at all. I know exactly where I'm going, and I know exactly who I expect to see when I get there. But I think it's important that you just, be mindful of what information you're taking in, which is why I don't get on TikTok. I just don't. So everyone's like, oh my gosh, I feel bad for the people that have built their livelihood on there. Like, okay, like it's number one, you should be versatile and be on all other platforms too. But also it's like, it's, and all of this stuff could be gone in a second. I mean, really, like all media, everything. And it's like, what you really have is, the people whose phone numbers you've got, and also like your email list, like stuff like that, like getting back to more basic stuff. That's important to stay connected with people. So that type of stuff
Unless
doesn't.
the grid goes down.
Well, I have all kinds of stuff in the room. we have a tool room that's kind of in between our driveway and our house, and we have all kinds of stuff. We've got end of day shit. I mean, not like extreme, but we've got enough for like a couple weeks or whatever, like with our family. And we've got a great, we've got a good sized property. We've got our house. There's all kinds of paranoia and hysteria that you could play into, but you just got to do what feels right for you. And if it makes you feel better to have some terribly tasting emergency meals in a box in a room in your house, like go for it.
And or a bazooka.
We don't have a bazooka. Drew would love one, I'm sure.
There's one up the road. We can shoot it.
Oh, at the range?
Like an actual bazooka. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You would know that.
That'll be an episode. We'll go.
Well, you know what?
Brooks.
When Jess was going through our expenses, she's like, "Oh, should we cut Saddle River Range?" And you're like, "No." Like, that's my membership. Even though you don't go there.
I need to go.
I know, but you guys have to just like there's all kinds of things you could stress about or be worried about. But so to answer your question about the drones, like, what do I think about it? Does it scare me? Whatever. I think it's very strange for sure. I haven't seen one around here, and if I did, I'd probably say, "Hey, go shoot that thing out of the sky." But we're good. We're fine.
We good.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah. That was a deep and elaborate answer. Thank you.
We have a lot to be thankful for, and we have a lot of good stuff happening. So, there's going to be strange, weird things. And I also, there's cycles in the news where it's like, it could be like a whole week where they're just like pumping you all the same information about the same thing. And I remember when I found out about the drone stuff, I was like, you mean to tell me this has been happening since the beginning of last month? And this shit is still being talked about on the news. Like it is like brand new information. I just think that's nuts.
Yeah. So you could deep dive in that, and it's gonna be distracting, but it'll don't take your eye off the ball on what you need to do. Make sure you're creating content and not just consuming it. Little way to land the plane here on these random episodes that we're doing. But we've kind of changed. We've changed the name of the show. It's the Rachel and Drew Show. It's a business podcast. We're gonna be always diving into business, but also didn't want to be like rigid to only talk about business all the time. We want it to be an entertaining, fun experience for you guys, educational value, stuff like that. Funny, right? So
yeah, definitely funny, and learning new random things about us.
Yeah.
We don't just coach and put on events. Like, we are humans just like you guys, and just navigating life and trying to keep our marriage together and be great parents and just all the things. So there's no challenge. There's no lack of challenges over here, is what I'm trying to say. So, if you are, ever at any point, like a couple people I would say at our event were like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know if I'd be able to like really talk to. I'm like, what? I'm right here. Like, what do you mean? Like, we're just like you. We're just here. We just happen to be putting on the event. Like, we're all up in it. We're walking around. We're doing stuff. We're helping people. It's I don't know what other. I guess maybe we've had similar experiences at other events where like the people putting on the event are very like, there's a huge gap between, or a barrier between them and the people that are attending. But we don't do that. We're just like you guys. We might be further down the road. Maybe, we have more variety in our, what we're doing in business and life and whatever, but we're still the same.
Yep.
We're just parents, married, doing shit, trying to keep it together, trying to keep, everyone alive and well.
Yeah.
We have fake plants though, because you can't keep those alive. That's for damn sure. As much as we travel, we have fake
Not
plants.
real.
No, it's not. But it looks nice. Looks like a good snake plant. But yeah. So just be aware of what you are giving your energy and your time to. That's kind of where I'm gonna leave off on this. And honestly, like right now, if I were on my For You page on Instagram and I were to pull it open and I were to go click on a couple of different things, what's it now going to pump to me? It's going to pump to me more of that stuff. So it's like, but keep in mind, it's what I'm choosing. It's what I'm selecting to look at is what they're going to give me more of. The algorithm is not there to be a pain in your ass. The algorithm is there to be helpful and to give you more of what it thinks you want. So you can if you find that like you are looking at something and you're like, oh my gosh, like all of a sudden I have like all this stuff, like just change it up, switch your habit. You know what I mean? We talked about this at the event on authentic intelligence, in a world of AI where, everyone is trying to replace themselves or their tasks or, it's like, don't do that, like it's important that you're still you and that you don't sit here and, replace your personality and your mind with something else that's thinking for you. Like, that's, I think the gap between people is going to get wider and wider and wider, of who's real and who's not as things go along.
Yeah. So we're going to call it there, guys. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following along. We'll see you next week.
See ya.